Sai Ram, happy Ganesha Chaturthi and his blessings for everyone. It's been quite a while, but I still clearly remember my husband, Brother Sundaram, asking me to look for a Ganesha statue for the center. I combed all over Jalan Masjid, India, and Jalan Tar, and finally landed in Krishna Depot. I was browsing inside when I came across something under the wash basin at the back of the store. It was really covered with dust, and at first I could not quite make out what it was, but I felt it looked like a Ganesha. But due to his appearance and where he was placed, I didn't really pay much attention. So I left the store empty-handed and returned home, my mission not complete. But after returning home, I had a very troubled feeling. I felt thinking of him, sitting under the sink and covered in dust. It was almost like he was abandoned there, and I felt very uneasy. I decided something had to be done. I needed to rescue him. So I spoke to my husband, who in turn called Brother Jaga and Uncle Nadaraja. At this point, there was already a candidate available. Auntie Doshi had a beautiful, full-colored Ganesha statue. But the men decided to give this look-see anyway. So we went and we looked, and after seeing him there, in that state, we decided to bring him back to the center in Lorong Abdullah in a beautiful entourage. We had the 48 days of prayers. Each family did the daily Abhishekam, and most of us were there every day. During this period, one night, I had a dream, and in this dream, I see an elephant grabbing a tulsi garland and throwing it away. At the center the next day, a Chinese couple who was doing the prayers for the day, they had unknowingly brought a tulsi garland for Ganesha. Of course, they did not know that you cannot adorn Ganesha with a tulsi garland, so we had to discard it. Similarly to this, there have been many small miracles surrounding our Ganesha, from his unexpected discovery under the sink to his less than appealing dusty appearance. Those who have devoted themselves to him and his center have seen these miracles for themselves and in their lives. I remember these times as the good times when we were all united as one family. It was our home, our Ganesha. Anyway, now he's settled in a good home and looking very happy and content. Once again, a very happy, prosperous and healthy Ganesha Chaturthi. Sai Ram, and thank you.
Hi, Saram to everyone. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Sister Dimple for having invited me to share my moments with Bala Ganapathi. I'd like to start with Brother Sundaram because it was his idea to install a Ganapathi statue in the center. When it was first suggested, there was a moment of disquieting because the Chinese devotees said that why convert the Sai Center into a temple? But after some discussion, Brother Sundaram prevailed. Actually, he had already in mind the form of Ganapathi to be installed in the center. So on a selected day and time, A few of us went to Batu Road to collect Ganapathi and transport him back to Bangsa Center. But already in the center was a large tray for Abhishekam. Well, Ganapati statue was placed in the tray, and the 48 days of Abhishekam started with the 9 selected couples performing the Abhishekam. So we took turns, maybe a few rounds per couple to finish the Abhishekam. And on the 8th day, after it was finished, the statue was transferred to the center. And there, the priest from High Street was engaged to do the required rituals under the watchful eyes of Brother Nataraja. So after the ritual was completed, the statue was placed on the altar and was given the pleasant task of sealing him in place so that he wouldn't move anywhere. Now, as you all know, Ganapati has said, whoever goes within with deep emotion, calling and believing in him, will receive his response. Lord Ganesha has got very huge ears. You only got to whisper into the ears for him to come to you from wherever you are. And now I'd like to share a very special experience with Sri Ganesha. About a year ago at about 1 o'clock, about 4 o'clock in the morning in fact, he appeared in my dreams. In the dream I was holding a tray with heaps of vibhuti. Then suddenly the vibhuti started to jump up and down about 1 to 2 inches above the tray. Finally, after a few seconds, it settled down in the form of a beautiful Sri Ganesha. For me, it was a very beautiful darshan that he has given me that I will never forget. Now, my favorite form of Ganesha statue is in Prashanti Nilayam. She was in a reclined form holding an umbrella. Then to my mind I was saying, he is Surya Kodi Samaprabha. Why does he need to hold an umbrella? Can someone please explain to me? That's all for now. Jai Bolo Sri Ganesha Ji Ke. Saram.
Sairam, when Bala Ganapathi came to Bangsa Center, most of us didn't know what mantras to chant and how to conduct the prayers and so on. And all that we knew at that point to chant Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. The other mantra is Vakratunda Mahakaya. Well, one day Uncle Nataraja, when he was in trance, he told us to chant this Gayatri, and he taught us this Tat Purushaya Vitmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodaya. So from that day onwards, we did a sloka incorporating the other mantras that we had been chanting earlier. That's Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Tat Purushaya Vitmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Danno Danti Prachodayat, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. This chanting has been going on ever since to now. This is something unique for Bala Ganapathi. And the other one is, I should say, we didn't do with much of rituals. In fact, whatever we did out of love. And Ganapati has blessed everyone. Those who did it, whoever participated in the regular Abhishekam and so on. So I think it is the love that matters most to him. So let us have the loving heart and do whatever that we need to do to please him. So the rituals, let's not bog down to the rituals, because the rituals by itself, sometimes we get carried away, we do not know the understanding, and it's sometimes it becomes not very effective in the prayers. I'm not saying that don't do rituals, but again, rituals has to come to a certain limitations. And that's I think something that's my advice. Do it a heart full of love, and words without heart is no use, but a heart without words is always the highly beneficial. Thank you, Sairam.
Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om. My adventure with Bala Ganapati. Everyone thinks that I brought Bala Ganapati into Bangsa Center. I did not. The person who brought Bala Ganapati into Bangsa Center was the late Brother Sundaram. Those of you who know Brother Sundaram would know he was our National Seva Coordinator, and he was a brilliant, wonderful man. And one day he came and said, Jaga, can you come to town with me? I said, why? I want you to show you Bala Ganapati. I said, what? I said, no mind. To please him, I said, okay. So went to the shop, a small shop, and there was a Bala Ganapati statue sitting in the corner, looking quite forlorn and lonely. So I looked at him, and Bala Ganapati appeared to want to follow us. So I said, okay, before I decide, let's check with Uncle Nataraja. So we brought Uncle Nataraja to the shop. And Uncle Nataraja immediately said, yes, let's take him. So we took Bala Ganapati into Bangsa Center. Now, having taken him there, what do we do with Bala Ganapati? So we decided then to have regular Abhishekam for Bala Ganapati. And Uncle Nataraja, don't let the youngsters do. Don't let the adults do. Let the youngsters do. Because the more and more they do the Abhishekam Bala Ganapati, their mental power will increase. So it will be very, very good for them. So we said, fine. So we started. The first person who started this Abhishekam for Bala Ganapati was my eldest son, Deva, Jegadeva. So he started doing it. And after some time, Uncle Naraja said, Jega, enough for your son, because Bala Ganapati has given him a lot of knowledge already. Let us pass it to others. So we said, fantastic. So we started passing to others. Many youngsters came forward and they started doing the Abhishekam on Bala Ganapati. Okay, subsequently, a lot of adults also started doing this Abhishekam on Bala Ganapati. And that went on for some time until the decision came for me to leave Bangsa Center, and we decided what to do with Bala Ganapati now. We had to find a nice location for him where he be loved and respected. And the center we all decided was in SS3. SS3 would be a beautiful place. They're very loving people, and they will recognize the benefit of doing the Abhishekam there. So that started the Bala Ganapati's transfer to SS3, and that will continue, I think, as far as I know, as long as they want it, okay? So I want to thank SS3 for accepting Bala Ganapati and being his host. Thank you. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Om Sai Ram, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak for Bala Ganapathi. It was a real honor for me to be the first person to do Abhishekam every day for Ganesha. It started in 1985, I think, when I was 12 years old, and we started doing Abhishekam firstly just once every morning, and after some years it became twice every day, morning and evening as well. So it was just me and my mother, Shanti, Jegathesan at the time. So every day would be me and my mother and Bala Ganapathi for 8 or 9 years. So I continued doing Abhishekam from 12 till about just after 20 or something like that, 1993. And when I started, like you're a 12-year-old and having to wake up every morning, even on Saturday and Sundays. At first, I was thinking, why me? Like why am I the person doing it? But after actually a month or so, you started to feel that this is part of me. So like doing the Abhishekam became part of what I had to do, and like in later years, a few times when I had to be away for a few days or something, and someone else had to replace me doing the Abhishekam, and I'm somewhere else, I'm feeling strange and I'm not doing the Abhishekam. So it was such an important part of my life for 9 years, and I was really lucky to be able to do it. It brought me and my mother a lot closer, of course. We're doing Abhishekam every day, and since I left in 93 or so, wherever I'm in the world, or if I'm getting on a plane, if I'm going to do something important, what comes into my mind is I'll be thinking, I close my mind and then I'll close my eyes, and I would say, Vakratunda, and so I would envision Bala Ganapathi at the center, and I would envision Bala Ganapathi and my mother playing the harmonium and my brother Jegan playing the drum, and 3 of them, and I'd see kind of energy coming from all of them, and then flying across the world into the plane or into whatever important thing it is that I'm doing, and I still do that. So that vision of Bala Ganapathi, my mother and Jegan, forms kind of the start of every prayer I do anywhere I am, and I'm so glad that so many others have been able to have the amazing opportunity to do the Abhishekam every day, and so many continue to be able to have the same privilege. Thank you, everyone. Sarah.
Saram, uncle, aunties, brothers and sisters. My name is Dinesh Thavagnanam. Our family's relationship with Bala Ganapathi began over 30 years ago. This is when my father, Brother Thava, took me and my brother Suren to perform Ganesha Abhishekam at Bangsa Center. The basic Abhishekam items have not changed over the years: gingerly oil, turmeric water, and milk. Over the last few years, my brother-in-law Aru and my son Tarish have also joined the Abhishekam team. Our family relationship with Bala Ganapathi was further strengthened when my father was the spiritual coordinator at Bangsa Center, and this was further enhanced when my wife Dimple took over this role over the last few years. I would like to share an incident when Bala Ganapathi made his presence felt to me. In 2019, I underwent spinal surgery. Before the surgery, I received the blessings of my parents and Bala Ganapathi. Uncle Jega performed the prayers by applying Sandanam and Kungumam pottus that were adorned by Bala Ganapathi. The paste was applied on my chest and my back. The moment I regained consciousness after the surgery, I felt someone touching the surgical area. I further had the same sensation twice when I was in the hospital room. During all three incidents, there were no medical personnel or family members standing near me. It was after the third incident that I realized it was Swami and Bala Ganapathi providing me the comfort and taking away the pain of the surgery and healing me. Another special moment was during the migration of Bala Ganapathi's form from Bangsa to SS3. Gopal Iyer, Dimple and I were requested to transform his energy in the form of his photo to SS3. It was difficult to verbalize the energy and the vibration activated by the prayers, activities, and the joy of sending Bala Ganapati to his new home. Thank you, Swami and Bala Sundara Ganapathi, for continuously showering your love and blessings. Jai Sai Ram.